Hola a todos. Hola, ¿cómo están? Recuerden de saludarnos siempre en la chat y compartir con nosotros de dónde se están conectando. Hola Carolina, muy bien, gracias. Guadalajara. Today our presentation is in English, guys, remember. So I'm going to switch, I'm sorry. Hola Ecuador, directly in English. And you know already the procedure. This chat where you are saying hi is the chat. Hello from California, León, Puebla. I love to see the places you're connected from. This chat is where we're going to put the announcements. We're going to put the link so you can register yourselves. Remember, you have to participate to the 50% of Encuentro Creativo. So to be able to participate to the scholarships, you have all the information in the Encuentro Creativo website. Please, guys, participate to the scholarships, apply to the scholarships. They're very beautiful, very generous. Remember, we have the other chat, which are the chat where I kindly ask you to put your questions to I don't know how to say los ponentes. I forgot the word in English. I will remember it. So you can start right away putting the questions there so I can, select them and then ask them to them. And in a couple of minutes, in 1 minute, we're going to put the video and we're going to start. I'm very happy with this webinar. I know you guys are going to love it. Okay. We are going to put also, as always, the link of LinkedIn and the websites of our Claudia, apóyame. ¿Cómo se decía ponentes en inglés? I just forgot the word.
Speakers.
Speakers, oh my God. Our speakers. So you're going to have all the information here, okay? Pues no sé si quieren ya lanzar el vídeo, así estamos en el timing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Gracias por haber sido parte de Encuentro Creativo, un proyecto de la Cámara de Comercio Italiana en México en colaboración con la Embajada de Italia. Espero que lo hayas disfrutado y te esperamos el próximo año.
Okay, so guys, today we have two amazing speakers that we're very grateful to Benetton and Fabrica for their generosity of this space. So we have Francesca Perpetuini. Francesca is art director and research coordinator of Fabrica, but she will introduce herself a little bit more before her presentation. And then we have Alejandra. Alejandra, I'm going to pronounce your surname as an Italian, which will be Uruchurtu, but it's not like that, right? It's Uruchurtu, right? Yes. And Alejandra is the head of marketing and communication for LATAM of Benetton. So we're going to start with you, Alejandra, with your presentation. A te la parola.
Perfecto, muchas gracias. Muchas gracias a todos, mucho gusto. Gracias por acompañarnos el día de hoy. Déjenme compartirles mi pantalla. Bueno, pues el día de hoy el título de este webinar es United Colors of Benetton, You Can Be Everything. Ahora les voy a explicar de dónde viene esto, ¿no? Primero que nada les quiero platicar de cómo nace Benetton. Benetton se creó en 1965 en Gonzano Veneto. Somos una marca, por supuesto, italiana. Tenemos más 55 años de actividad y en estos 55 años nos hemos convertido en una de las empresas italianas más emblemáticas e innovadoras de la industria, ¿no?, italiana, y estamos presentes en las partes, en los países más importantes de todo el mundo. Nosotros somos una marca de moda de mujer, hombre y niños. Y nosotros desde nuestros inicios revolucionamos la forma de hacer prendas de punto, el knitwear, ¿no? Que son estos suéteres. Fue creada por la familia Benetton. Ellos revolucionaron la manera de crear las prendas de punto en esos años. ¿Y cómo fue? Poniéndole color a estas prendas. Cuando la gente no utilizaba colores, ¿no?, como lo vemos ahora, amarillo, rosa, azul, todos estos colores, nosotros revolucionamos en esto. Y de hecho el primer suéter de Benetton fue amarillo, cuando nadie vestía el color en sus prendas. Nosotros, el ADN de Benetton, y por lo que somos reconocidos mundialmente, es el knitwear, nuestro color, calidad, compromiso social y nuestro mensaje de inclusión y diversidad. Como les decía, estamos presentes en los países más importantes de todo el mundo y tenemos aproximadamente 4,000 tiendas. La comunicación de Benetton, este punto ha sido revolucionario para nosotros y para la marca. Nosotros siempre hemos tenido una comunicación universal. ¿Qué es esto? Que mientras otras marcas adaptan su comunicación a distintos países en los que están, nosotros en Benetton tenemos un solo mensaje global que damos alrededor de todo el mundo, y por eso es que cuidamos tanto nuestras campañas y lo que mostramos en ellas. Nosotros hablamos de globalización cuando nadie hablaba de esto, de diversidad. Entonces las campañas de Benetton hablan sobre un mensaje universal que la gente, donde quiera que viva, el color que sea su piel y el idioma que hablen, todos van a entenderlo y el objetivo es que se sientan identificados con nosotros. Ahora, la comunicación social es súper importante, que muchos de ustedes las conocen, otros no. Ahora que ustedes están muy jóvenes, pero bueno, hace más de 30 años revolucionamos la manera de hacer comunicación en Benetton, la manera de hacer nuestras publicidades. Nosotros revolucionamos a través de, empezamos con Oliviero Toscani, un gran fotógrafo que tuvimos, y con esto empezamos a hacer toda nuestra publicidad y hablábamos siempre y como ahora de temas sociales y problemas e inquietudes de la sociedad. Como les digo, o sea, Benetton siempre hemos tenido una visión, ¿no? Siempre hemos ido un paso adelante, y lo que hoy hacen todas las marcas, nosotros ya hablábamos de esto. También, actualmente también hacemos campañas locales que hablan de estos temas sociales, y les pongo unas imágenes de las más recientes, que son en el día del Pride, hicimos una intervención en la fachada del Sofitel de Reforma, y ahora estamos apoyando FUCAM en Octubre Rosa en apoyo al cáncer de mama. También tenemos, bueno, esto del compromiso social es bien importante para nosotros. Y para Benetton Group, combinar el crecimiento económico con el compromiso social es súper importante. Y también la gente, ¿no? Hablar de los valores, y en cada plan que hacemos y cada acción que emprendemos siempre está pensado en este compromiso social del medio ambiente, pero también con la sociedad. En Italia trabajamos en todo el mundo con comunidades locales para apoyar y tener un crecimiento económico y el bienestar social y respetando el medio ambiente. En nuestras prendas, desde el algodón y el lino, el 80% de las fibras son de origen natural, y casi la mitad de nuestras prendas son monofibra. Esto quiere decir que son fibras vírgenes, por lo tanto se pueden reciclar, ¿no? Formamos parte de esta parte de marcas sustentables, y con Greenpeace hemos tenido varios reconocimientos por quitar sustancias dañinas o químicas de nuestros procesos de cadena de suministro. También formamos parte de la SAC, que es la Sustainable Apparel Coalition, que es la alianza más grande del mundo que promueve la acción sustentable con las marcas de apparel. Estamos dentro de las 10 marcas de moda líderes en cuanto a la transparencia de la comunicación y cómo se hacen la elaboración de nuestras prendas en la cadena del suministro. Y por último, en Ponzano, en Italia, tenemos un centro para los niños. Es una escuela y un lugar donde pueden ir a hacer actividades los niños que trabajan en nuestros headquarters de Italia y también gente de pueblos aledaños. Y bueno, les voy a dar rápidamente un timeline de Benetton. En 1965 nos fundamos, en el 69 abrimos nuestra primera tienda en París, en 1978 ya nos expandimos, ¿no?, alrededor de todo el mundo. En los 80s abrimos nuestra tienda en Nueva York. En el 83 formamos parte y tuvimos nuestra escudería Benetton en la Fórmula 1. En el 91 entra Oliviero Toscani y empezamos estas campañas que daban un mensaje global y de diversidad. En 94 se abrió Fábrica, que ya contará Francesca, que es nuestro centro de comunicación, de investigación de la comunicación. En el 19 incursionamos, ¿no?, en el Fashion Week a través de uno de nuestros directores creativos que fue Castelbajac. Y en el 2003, ahorita, perdón, en el 2003 me fui mal en el timeline, pero bueno, ahorita les voy a platicar más a fondo. Y si pueden poner el video para que se den una idea un poco más de Benetton.
Sí, ahora lo ponemos.
Gracias.
This is a story of colors and places, a story made of experimentation and curiosity. This is the story of Benetton Group. And it all began from a single question. Why does knitwear need to have such dull colors? The answer was garment dyeing and the revolutionary colorful Benetton line of products, with the famous United Colors of Benetton. In these premises, color is everywhere. The headquarters at Villa Minelli in Ponzano and the logistics hub in Castrette are surrounded by over 250,000 square meters of green. In the midst of all are the Benetton studios. The exhibition area houses 16 Formula One cars. And here too we find the iconic United Colors of Benetton advertising campaigns from the past nearly 50 years. But to capture the entire history of Benetton Group, something else was needed. So here we have the historical archives, a stunning virtual cabinet which contains the heritage of the company. The Benetton Studios is also home to the fashion show premises, an area for pilot stores and indoor picture studios. Creativity needs to be nurtured. This is why Benetton Group decided to build Fabrica, a place where young people from all over the world who come with an idea are helped to bring it to life. Huge investments have placed the Castrette logistics hub at the forefront of efficiency and safety. The hub now receives garments from the countries where they are manufactured, sorts them using the very latest generation technology, and then sends them right around the planet, with an in-house customs facility. Here we are at Ponzano Children, a place of freedom and creativity, where generations are formed so that they can pass on the spirit and vision of an Italian group unlike any other in the world. A group that has made a child's most recurrent question, why, the secret of its success.
No te escuchamos. Ahora.
Bueno, ya.
Sí.
Ok. Bueno, en 2022 fue nombrado Andrei Contri, nuestro director creativo, para hacer las colecciones de mujer, hombre y niños, y debutó su primer desfile durante el Fashion Week de Milán en el 2022. Aquí son algunas embajadoras y personajes mundialmente conocidos que hemos tenido hoy en la marca, como es Chiara Ferragni, que es un referente de la moda italiana y bueno, en todo el mundo. Olivia Palermo, También en México hemos tenido ahora con este boom que tenemos de influencers, campañas más enfocadas al país, ¿no? Con Macarena Chaga, Macarena García, Bárbara López, Camila Valero, Emiliano Zurita. Y bueno, la verdad es que en todas estas campañas y actualmente hemos querido nombrar a estos embajadores y gente, ¿no? Si Benetton tuviera una personalidad, ¿qué persona podría ser Benetton, ¿no? Entonces, con esto quiero cerrar lo de hoy. El ADN de Benetton es el color, pero en todas sus expresiones, no nada más en la forma de vestir, el compromiso social, la inclusión, el mensaje de diversidad, de sé tú, sé quién eres, ¿no? Eso es lo que queremos transmitir con la marca, con las colecciones, que vistas como tú eres y que seas quien quieras ser, ¿no? Eso es ser Benetton. Y voy a cerrar con este video.
To be or not to be?
Be what you want to
Be better.
be.
Okay.
It's all for you.
Be different.
Be different. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
What? It's like I'm rapping.
Be lovely. Be beautiful.
Be different.
Be time. Be like you.
Be right. Be wrong.
Be anything. Be yourself.
Be in love.
Be humble. Be brave.
Happy.
Be great. Be Benetton.
Be Benetton.
Be Benetton. Be Benetton. Love. Be like you.
Be different. Be wrong. Be right.
Yourself. Humble. Be brave.
Be in love.
Benetton.
Gracias.
Okay.
Bien, gracias a ti, Alejandra. Obviamente en la chat decían, I'm going to shift to English again for Francesca. They were saying that they love the brand, so I'm happy that they know the brand. So thank you so much for everything you shared, Alejandra. So
Great.
without delay, I'm giving the word to Francesca. Thank you, Francesca. Whenever you want.
Thank you, Farah. So, hello, everyone. It's a big pleasure for me to be with you today. I am Francesca Perpetuini, and I'm currently the art director and residency coordinator at Fabrica. I am a visual designer, freelance visual designer and art director, and I've been working in the past years for several design studios, curating the visual paths for the then Italian Buddhist reality as a curator and film director of the first path, Buddhist path. We walked through the Francigena path, the famous path in Italy. And I'm now part of the Italy a New Collective Landscape, which is an exhibition that summarizes what Italian designer under 30 years old has been doing recently in the scene. Yeah, long story short, I would say this is my experience. As a background, I studied product and visual design in Italy and in Germany. And today here, I'm also a teacher, a professor in a university in Padova of the semiotic. But beyond that, today I'm here to talk about Fabrica Research Center, the research center of Benetton Group. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to talk a little bit about what we are doing here in Treviso. So first of all, what is Fabrica? Is a research center for young creatives that comes from all around the world. These creatives are under 25 years old and they come from different background and discipline and of course with different cultural background as well. So I would say that in this sense, contamination is key for the research centers and the activity of the research center, and through an approach based on learning by doing, they constantly share their practices while doing research on the personal project. The residency, how it is structured now, with the program director Carlos Casas, lasts for 6 months and is based every semester on different topics. I'm going to give a little bit of background, historical background. You just saw Alejandra and Luciano Benetton while meeting and while Fabrica was created during the 90s. And the idea came from the need of young creatives, that's also why under 25, which don't really know what to do between 20 and 25 in terms of focusing on their research, but at the same time finding here you see in the slides like how Fabrica was built it in this time lapse. It's a critical age, by the way. So what Benetton wanted to give to these young creatives was the chance to completely focus on their personal research while having all the financial support in terms of having a flat where to live, food, all the technical tools needed to do their own project. So here you see the spaces where they do their research, and those architecture is this concrete is in dialogue with a Palladian villa based in the countryside of Treviso, and the project is a dialogue between contemporaneity and the old neoclassical architectural style, which is very present in this region. It's important to say about the architecture that Tadawando wanted to respect everything as it was, so he decided to build the structure of Fabrica itself in the underground. And then here we go to the core of the residency, which are the artists in residence that we also like to call Fabricanti. As I said, they come from all over the world, and the practices are very different between each other. To go a little bit more in depth, what they do while here at Fabrica, they investigate and they create a personal research project in the 6 months, jumping between all these big themes, big social themes that you see here in this slide of this presentation. So from sustainability to philosophy to science, music, there, as I said before, contamination is key. While the research on these themes, their main practices usually has been focused in the recent year on design, all the kind of design, photography, film, music, sound, experimentation with new media, and also writing. Research is then the fundamental act that is driving Fabrica as a place. In order to do that, we have a program that is welcoming several guests from all over the world. Here you can read some of the people who passed by Fabrica from the 90s when it was open until today. And during the 6 months, the activities are together with the internal activities, there are a series of workshop lectures that these guests of the program comes at Fabrica and share their time and their practices with the guys. I want to show you how a workshop looks like. So I'm going to play this video. Meanwhile, I'm going to speak about the last semester theme, which was archaism, and what these guys did with Kensuke Koike, a Japanese artist based in Venice who mainly works with collage. So together with Kensuke Koike, they spent 3 days starting from their personal portrait and literally decomposing it several pieces. order to explore and let's see how the unexpressed potential that an image has. So this was the work that they did. This was work that was color stimulus together also with the other workshop for their personal research, where that they decided to focus on a specific theme inside the archaism idea where the semester was based on. Yeah, so here you have an overview of what a workshop looks like.
Francesca, may I interrupt you 1 second because some kids are asking, some of the students are asking, is it possible eventually to see any of these workshops or content? Do you guys have registrations?
Absolutely. So about the workshop itself, they are for the artists in residence, but we communicate everything on our social media channel. So if you guys go on Instagram and look for Fabrica Research Center, you will find all the content of the previous semester and also of the current one. Also on our website, all the semesters are wrapped up in videos and abstracts that describes all the activities. So yes, 100%. There is a part of lecture that is open to the public. So if you guys are interested to join live our lecture and to participate also to the Q&A and the dialogue we have with the artists that are here for the program, and also have dialogue with the residents themselves, you are welcome to join.
That's lovely, and we're going to put the links, guys, in the chat so you have access to the sites that just Francesca said. Thank you, Francesca.
You're welcome. So this is another workshop that we did at Fabrica with Rie Nakajima. She is a sound artist and works also a lot with hardware and sculpture. And in her workshop, we basically created sculpture that were producing sounds. So we were mainly using motors, as you see from these images, and in the end, we basically built it in 3 days. An exhibition was super nice because the guests came for the lecture, but in the end, it turned out to be a proper exhibition where everybody were walking around Fabrica and seeing all the work that the residents did. Yeah, so as I said, we also have lectures as part of the program, and if you go on our website, you can check those who are ongoing now in this for this specific autumn-winter semester and join us online. And also concert. Every semester, music is very important at Fabrica. It also is a practice that is developing a lot. And every semester, we try to find one artist, of course, dealing with music, whose practices in terms of methodology is in line with the theme of the semester itself. And then, of course, our library, our beautiful library. Here, all the books made at Fabrica, but also all books dealing with all the creative fields, science, politics. It's very big resources and yeah, a very precious place where to get information from. And now I would like to talk you and go a little bit more in depth on the semester theme, this semester theme, which is co-ecology, and basically started from the issues of the scene and invites the research. We focused on the envisioning of a future that is not so distant, that we assume as humans that we are actually co-dependent with all the other species and the other environments. We see the best and the artists in residence, the goal of the practice reserved during these 6 months for the artist in residence will be to find new way of interaction in a more meaningful way and to discuss anthropocenic process and era, trying to imagine and envision how it's going to be afterwards. So here the protagonists of these 6 months, the artists in residence, as you see, they are coming from different part. In terms of selection process, you find information on the website if you guys are interested to apply, but the way we select the residents is based on, of course, their background and the theme itself. We try to let every group be as heterogenic as possible. So starting from the practices, gender, where they come from, we really care about having a mix and making sure that everyone is matching the practice, the theme of the semester itself. And here it said,
can I ask you, Francesca, in order to apply, so it's not necessarily that you have to have a background in art or visual or I don't know, maybe someone from economics eventually can apply if they have a nice project that is in theme with the concept?
Yes, please. We are looking for that. Absolutely. There is no limit in terms of discipline and practices. Of course, learning by doing is the main approach. And as you see, it's dealing a lot with outcomes that in the end find their expression in either art or design, but this is just a path that we try to walk through that we would like to expand all the time. So in case you are coming from a background that seems distant from, actually, I don't think economic is necessarily distance from art and from design, you know. So yeah, with the right point of view and if you are open and interested, absolutely.
So guys, I recommend you to check after in the links because this is an incredible opportunity. And please, because some of you were putting in the chat, what about if I come from marketing? What about just apply? As Francesca is saying. Thank you, Francesca.
You're welcome. Yeah, totally. Also, I'm taking care of the selection process together with the administration, together with our panel. And what is important is your idea, what you want to say and what you need to say. So it doesn't really matter how much you did already or how good quality in terms of production are your work. What matters is what you have to say. And this I really want to point out because sometimes there are like insanely good application technical wise, but then the content itself seems to be maybe a bit too mainstream or without soul, and we are looking for a sincere point of view. So beyond the program itself, we also have internal activities. So I'm going to pass very fast through all of them. And also tell you how these activities are divided in the week. So and how a Fabrica week looks like, even though I can guarantee that every week is different because you have to imagine that the program activities are living together with the weekly activities and together with the personal research project. So it's very, very intense. But anyhow, on Monday, we wrap up what is happening during the week. On Tuesday, we have full feedback sessions about the ongoing research process. Wednesday, there is an activity in the library that I will explain a little bit better in a while. Thursday, we have screenings in our cinema, because also Fabrica has a cinema together with the library, photo studio, and all a series of space that satisfy all the creative needs. And then on Friday, we have an experimental showcase where the residents show what they have been doing during the week or during the month. So about the book club, this is an activity that we introduce in order to not just the library as a source for research, but also to let the residents take over on the content of the book, translating them in a different outcome. So what they do is basically they take a book, they read it up, and they translated it in another mean. It could be a video installation, it could be a poster, it could be a film, it could be a sculpture. And every Wednesday, we have this meeting where they present their point of view about the book, and then we have a series of discussions. And here you see some of the work that has been done, mainly digitals, and their interpretation of the book. Then every Thursday we have these screening sessions called Obscura. Basically, we're talking about a curatorial program that every resident curates every week based on the theme of the semester and also the subject of their personal research, so that every semester every Obscura has a specific kind of mood. Here you see some of the posters of each session did by the residents in the previous weeks and months. And then also residents can propose to do workshops in order to officially and properly share their skills. So if someone has a skill and the other wants to learn it, we organize a day to do workshop all together and to make sure everyone that there is this exchange of practices. And then also internal lectures. Happens a lot of time that when someone is doing research on a specific topic that is complex or need more investigation, we ask to do a lecture about it so that we are all sensible and aligned, and also it's easier to contribute to the project itself, as well as if someone comes from a specific cultural background and wants to give an overview about it can be anything from the historical part of a country through to the folkloristic one. What happened at the end of these 6 months? We have an exhibition to wrap up all the, to showcase the research that the residents, artists in residence did during the 6 months. Here you see the previous 4th. The last one was about archaism, as I mentioned already. 2 semesters ago, it was about otherworlding. 3 semesters ago, about extinction, and 4 semesters ago, about time. These were the theme of the semester. All the identity and decorational part of the exhibition itself is managed with the coordinator in collaboration with the residents. So also the graphic design, we worked on it together. The decorational part, they decided to do it together. This is very important also as a collective practice. And I'm going to show you a short video of 1 minute of the last exhibition, so you can have an idea of how Fabrica is habited by these works and how these works look like. So as I mentioned, it was archaism. You can see the analog part of this installation that was very present in dialogue with the contemporary technology. All right. So passing very fast through the other exhibition, here you can see some of the work of Later Came Early, the exhibition about time. And here some of the work of the Just Passing Through that was about extinction and ephemerality and impermanence. And here Becomes a Swear. This was a big switch of topic since it was talking about other wording. And together with the final exhibition, here on the bottom you see also Venezia Fabbrica Futura. This is another initiative that in the end became a critical, a series of event and exhibition. I'm going to show you a video and talk a little bit more about this one. So from last semester, and it's going ahead this semester too, since we are very close to Venice and a lot of the projects were based on Venice as well, we collaborated with the Complesso dell'Ospedaletto, a very old part of one of the main hospital in Venice that is connected to a church. And this beautiful space was hosting the project of the Curious Fabbricanti that were investigating how Venice is a possible laboratory for future discovery of. So the project were based on creating new materials from the shelves turned into powder and then composing the filament of 3D printers, or how algae in water, this liquid can actually let the paper be photosynthetic, photosensible, and turn it into create an image out of it. Also project talking about the surveillance system in Venice, so in this sense a bit more political. And this was the first chapter of this project about Venice. Just yesterday, we ended the second chapter that was happening during the Biennale Musica, and in fact was based on music, as you see from the subtitle itself, Listen Venice. And with one of our former residents, Asuka Kagawa, together with a series of guests, we moved some of the activity based on sound of the Fabbrica program in Venice. Here you see the space of the church. This was a round table with Ramon De Marco, you of the University of Venice, the SSH Sound Research Department, Carlos Casas and Asuka, talking about sound ecologies. And the space itself has a specific sonorities, so was perfect to welcome sound installation. And this is the other space where we welcomed in the first session, in the video that you saw, all this series of projects from the former residents. And this time instead, an installation by Ramon De Marco, where people could listen his field recordings he did in Venice. And so what is also important to say is that a lot of people who are part of the program were actually former Fabricanti, as well as I am, as well as Carlos Casas, program director, is. And we are a huge network of almost 800 people. And we are always interconnected. And the crazy thing is that either you want it or not, spending so much time with these people, in the end, it creates this family feeling, this super strong bond stays even through time. So it's very easy that if I'm in a random city in the world and they text on this shared group that we have, hey, I'm here, some previous Fabricante there, someone would pop up and we could meet for, I don't know, an aperitif or a drink or visiting their studios. And this connection still lasts through time, and this is beautiful. We are trying with this index, so catalogation of all the residents who passed by, to create a system to properly interconnect all the Fabricanti that we are going to launch in the next year, because the next year Fabrica will celebrate 30 years. So together with the program and the activities and the residency, we are also going to organize a physical reunion where we are going to invite all the residents who passed by Fabrica to be back at Fabrica all together. So this is the general review. I thank you all. I wish I could speak in Spanish. Unfortunately, I can't, or at least if I try, it takes a long time, so English was easier for me. I hope you enjoy, and if you have any questions, I'm happy.
Yes, we do, Francesca. And they're saying that they love the presentation. They're saying thank you, thank you, thank you. So worry not. And one question, Francesca, usually what type, after the Fabricanti finish the program, usually what type of career they undertake or they pursue after the experience in Fabrica? Do you guys have statistics in that? What type of?
So this is a very important question, because Fabrica itself is meant to be a place where you can get lost, where you can actually do all the things that you don't allow yourself to do, since you always have to make sure you respect your responsibilities. So often Fabrica is a trigger to completely switch a way of perceiving life and also attitude of life itself. So some consider it as a start, and then they go ahead, maybe they came as a product designer and they come out as film director, and then so it really depends. Usually they go ahead or otherwise they go ahead in their creative fields, either collaborating with previous Fabricanti and residents, which is always a good basis to start as a network, but also a lot of time, since this super rich program and all the people that are coming, we spend a lot of time with them. So if there's a connection, things happen like that also, mostly in these creative fields. So often happen that while guests are here, residents find out that they get along with them, and then afterwards they start to work with them. So it's very different. For example, in my case, I left Fabrica. I started to work as a freelance because I had many jobs opened. And the very first one started with a studio that came to do a workshop and open up several doors. And then in January, because I came back to Fabrica since this year, and between I had 2 years as a gap, just working on as a freelance and also on my personal project. All the works that I did started with Fabrica as a main as a main network, and then it just got expanded and expanded. So yeah, if this answered the question.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's always the possibility also to collaborate with also Benetton. In your case, you came back to collaborate with Fabric in particular, but there is always an opportunity. Great.
Yes.
I'm gonna switch now to Alejandra because there are a question, Alejandra, for you.
Sí, claro.
En español te lo hago, Alejandra. Alejandra, obviamente preguntan sobre internships en México, porque adoran la marca. ¿Cómo pueden nuestros chicos aplicar para entrar a la familia de Benetton?
Bueno, muchas gracias por ese interés. Les voy a poner mi correo en el chat y me hacen llegar su CV a mí y bueno, ahí si hay alguna oportunidad, por supuesto, bienvenidos, felices.
Ajá. Oye, qué generosa, Alejandra, seguro. Mira que te van a llover las mails.
Yo feliz de que me los mandan y yo los paso a RH, pero sí, está bien que me los manden a mí sin ningún problema, ya que hemos tenido este contacto, ¿no? El día de hoy y con mucho gusto.
Genial. Y Alejandra, me preguntan, ¿qué áreas hay en México para que ellos puedan dirigirse?
Pues mira, las áreas que tenemos es el área de marketing y comunicación en la que yo estoy. Tenemos visual merchandising, está el área comercial, ¿no? Que es el área de ventas, operaciones, recursos humanos, sistemas IT y logística.
Ah, ok.
Bueno, y
Ok,
finanzas también. Sí.
genial. Pues ahora Alejandra les va a compartir en la chat.
Sí.
Si necesitas también el apoyo de Diego, o si lo quieres poner tú. Y bueno, pues pregunta respondida, chicos. Manden numerosos. Francesca, another question for you. Any tip that you can suggest? I know it's difficult for you because you are part of the committee, but some of the participants wish to apply for the program. Any tip that you will suggest that they have to have in consideration when applying?
Yes, so always straight to the point. Don't decorate too much your portfolios, and make sure the message you want to share with your project is passing in a very clear way. Also, try to make it as personal as possible. Yeah, as personal as possible, and try to avoid any mainstream or institutional way of presenting your work and what you think. Also, just be yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what type of, I personally, of course, working in the fashion industry, you know, we speak about trends often, right? And this is so, but I personally I don't think it will apply in Fabrica. But what are the main themes that you feel are in alignment with the times nowadays that maybe the kids can think about?
So it really depends, because I think so now I go with my personal opinion. So it depends if you have a practice that is based on old or like previous techniques or contemporary techniques, but I still think that I mean, one of the previous theme of the semester was archaism, and we still find it a way to think about it in a contemporary way, but also thinking about it as a feeling and not just as something that is connected to the past, but a feeling that always lasts. So it doesn't really matter how your practices in terms of outcome itself is connected to contemporaneity. I think that what matters is your point of view about a specific theme contextualized in the reality that you live, so based on your own experience. In this sense, I have to say that in terms of backgrounds, we had a lot of application based on sound and music, and we saw that it was the case to make this research topic a bit broader, but also, I don't know, I would say that what is so-called glitch reality is something that is very interesting to investigate nowadays, but also like everything is very related to the topic too. So right now we are talking about co-ecologies and not necessarily just focusing on sustainability, but focusing on the way more species can live together. And as artists in residence, we have people dealing with 3D, dealing with sound too, but very like instrumental sound, so not digital. We have an interactive digital artist who is also a dancer that works with technology and the body. So graphic designers, interaction designers, photographers, writers. So everything is very, very
yeah. You know
open.
why I asked you also, Francesca, because we had in this edition of Encuentro Creativo, we have had panels about artificial intelligence, which is something that, you know, the students are very much, you know, have very much in mind. No, so this is why I was asking you, because I know there is a lot of interest in using these new tools. And it will be, I assume, very interesting also for Fabrica, right? How you use that into this type of application, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I think that every practice itself is a tool. So we are super curious about AI as well. I think that we are more curious though to know how you use it and why. How you use it and why. So everything really depends on the idea and the intentions.
Great. Francesca, they're in love with you, so they're asking your LinkedIn.
Oh, so I tell you, as I said already before, I really don't use LinkedIn. I don't even know when was the last time I updated it. But by the way, my name is Francesca Perpetuini.
Okay.
Yeah.
You there. So
if you want to keep in touch with me, I think I can share with you my email.
Oh, perfect. So while you're doing that in the chat, I think also Claudia is putting your LinkedIn. I'm going to ask a question to Alejandra. Ok, Alejandra, aquí te pregunto. Están preguntando, te lo traduzco en español. Sí, como hablaste de los valores de Benetton en tu presentación, ¿no? ¿Estos valores cambian, se aplican de manera distinta en cada país? O sea, ¿cambia o hay una aplicación distinta? Porque están preguntando si estos valores, estos core values, tienen una aplicación distinta dependiendo del país donde Benetton opera.
Pues bueno, en realidad, o sea, de los valores que les hablé y del ADN, como les digo, la comunicación de Benetton siempre hablamos de una comunicación universal. Evidentemente, en nuestras campañas globales siempre se maneja este mensaje universal y ya cuando se aplica a cada país, hacemos ciertas acciones que se adaptan, que se hacen de manera local, pero siempre la comunicación global es para tocar a todo el mundo, y por eso en nuestra publicidad ven gente diversa, ¿no? De diferentes razas, y esto es a lo que hablamos de cuestión universal. Sí hay ciertos países, como por ejemplo en la India específicamente, ahí se maneja una parte dedicada a ese país porque pues es una cultura muy, muy diferente y ahí se hacen las imágenes de acuerdo a ellos, pero en general en todo el resto del mundo estos valores desde que se inició Benetton siempre se han mantenido y puede ser que tengan modificaciones, obviamente, y como las cosas cambian, ¿no? Pero siempre está fundamentado bajo el color y como les digo, no solo en el color de las prendas, sino en el color en todas sus expresiones, ¿no? El color de ir más allá, del color en tu vida, de las emociones, del color con el que te vistes, del color de diversidad, de razas, del color de cada persona, ¿no? De cómo se expresa diferente. El compromiso social es el apoyar estas causas sociales y que siempre se hace de manera global, se apoya de manera mundial, ¿no? Y esto se hace, y como les dije, en países se aplica de manera local también. Pues este mensaje de diversidad e inclusión en el que hablamos de un tema de globalización que siempre se habla como para ser universal.
Sí, y Alejandra, a día de hoy, después obviamente de los cambios artísticos, además conozco muy bien a Andrea Incontri, lo conozco, es amigo desde hace años, ¿cuál tú crees que sigue manteniéndose como producto icónico de la marca? ¿Qué producto icónico seleccionarías?
Pues definitivamente nuestras prendas de punto, ¿no? El knitwear, que es lo que revolucionamos y es nuestro ADN y nuestro core y lo más fuerte, ¿no? Son los suéteres de punto y que hay vestidos, hay suéteres en diferentes presentaciones. Utilizamos una técnica que se llama en los suéteres que se llaman las intarsias, que esto es que es como una imagen dentro, ¿no? Como estampado, pero se hace tenemos máquinas especiales y cuando iniciamos se hicieron máquinas especiales para hacer el tejido de punto de Benetton y en el video que les mostré ahí se veía un poco, ¿no? Cómo estaban las máquinas y sí, definitivamente las prendas de punto es nuestro
Es el core.
producto ya, ¿no? El core.
Okay.
Y
Francesca,
ellas.
perdona.
No,
¿qué
decía que el color, ¿no? El color en
sí, claro, claro, claro.
pero
Francesca, I think, yeah, we have one more last question. They're asking something about the portfolio, Lorelei. I assume that when they are applying for Fabrica, they have to share their, their work, right? This is a question that many times, also when I teach in fashion universities, they always ask me, what I put, what I don't put, what you will suggest about the portfolio, because it's very difficult to show the best of you, right?
Yes, totally. So when it comes to portfolio, and this also happened with the class in university when they arrive at the last year and they have to wrap up all their project and they don't know what to put to create their portfolio, what not to put. So for Fabrica, I suggest to put the work that you feel most attached to. This means that even though you feel insecure, maybe the work you feel most insecure of is the right work to put in a portfolio when you share it at Fabrica. Yes, definitely. If you have also like professional work dealing a little bit more with the commercial reality and all, I would wrap them up because it's also good to show that you have experience in that, but I would wrap them up in like few slides and really concentrate on the research or even just the sensations and the feelings that drive you to create other projects. So either is like a text, either is like videos or images, you decide the output, the outcome. I would underline the part that you feel most in love with or maybe that you hate the most. Yeah, it really depends. But for sure that has a big level of intensity in the way you perceive it, rather than general commercial work that I would just wrap up in.
What is your feeling between digital portfolio and paper portfolio? What you will suggest there?
Well, I think digital portfolio is the way, since I mean, either you come to actually in the 90s people used to come with their physical portfolios, and it was not just printed on paper, but people would come with crazy sculptures. The Fabrica team, like many people of the Fabrica team, works there since the very beginning, so since 30 years almost, and they have like the craziest story about these people that walked through from Slovenia through Fabrica, from different places by foot, arriving with carrying this big sculpture, these weird things. So, I mean, if you want to send something physical, why not? But also the act of sending something physical has a sense, and needs to be justified. So also, as long as paper is an important resources, I think that it depends which kind of paper you choose. Why are you doing it in a spreadsheet that are left over from many prints that you did through the year, and you are printing on it, and then this has a specific meaning? Or are you just like printing on very eco-friendly paper that maybe you paid a lot but just to impress? Or, you know, there are so many layers. I'm totally fine with the digital portfolio, and I think that the analog part, if it's the core of the work, can be transmitted with videos that are, or with other digital medium that of course are a representation, but still you can show all the process and what's analog about it. And since, I mean, we are interconnected in this way, it's the easiest easiest, also sustainable way.
I'm gonna share this very quick, this story. I had a friend of mine from St. Martin's. I studied fashion in St. Martin's, and he always wanted to work for Paul Smith. So what he did is that he created an envelope that it was his size, like a human being size, and he painted the envelope. He painted the stamp of the envelope, the letter and everything, and he brought the envelope with inside his sketches to the Paul Smith headquarters, and Mr. Paul Smith was there, and he opened the door and he said, "Go to administration, you're starting for us tomorrow," without having to do the sketches, without having to do the sketches. So yes, guys, creativity, is one of the fuels of life. So don't be afraid to express yourselves as you wish, as you are. And that's a gift. So, ladies, Alejandra, gracias. Francesca, thank you so much. Angela, you are there behind the scenes. Thank you for being there. And remember, guys, that wrapping up, that you have to attend to the 50% of the Encuentro Creativo. I know the team of Encuentro Creativo has been writing this in the chat. Please apply to the internships. They're amazing. To the scholarships. You have the contacts of Alejandra and Francesca directly. They've been so generous with that. Like someone told me many years ago, a very important fashion editor that I'm not going to say her name, from America, so everyone knows her. She gave me her email and she said, use it, do not abuse it. So have that in mind always. Muchísimas gracias a todos por participar, a nuestros sponsors y al team de Encuentro Creativo que hacen la magia posible siempre detrás de las ventanitas. Thank you so much. Grazie.
Me gustaría nada más recordarles e invitarlos a que participen al concurso que tenemos con ustedes, porque también habían dudas. Y bueno, rápidamente el concurso consiste en que nos sigan en las redes de Benetton, @Benetton_México y en las redes de Encuentro Creativo, y que suban un post en el que utilicen al menos una prenda de Benetton de la colección Fall Winter 23. De esto había duda, la colección es la que está actualmente en nuestras tiendas, y que suban un post con un look, con una de estas prendas en uno de sus lugares favoritos, y que pongan una palabra que los describa y por qué. Así, y con el hashtag #ViBenetton, así como les enseñé al final y como cerré la presentación, es muy importante lo de be different, be unique, be you, todo esto, para que entiendan un poquito esta parte cómo funciona, y también nos etiqueten a ambos, ¿no? Y estaremos muy contentos de tener su participación, y el premio será que el próximo año puedan asistir a un shoot de moda. Tuvimos en septiembre al ganador de Encuentro Creativo el año pasado en este shoot con nuestros últimos embajadores, entonces para que puedan vivir esta experiencia en real de cómo se trabaja un shoot de moda.
Genial. Claudia, encuentran todas las informaciones de que nos platicó Alejandra también en el sitio web de Encuentro Creativo, ¿verdad?
Correcto, en el sitio web de Encuentro Creativo tenemos una sección que se llama becas. Ahí están los logos de las universidades y marcas que están dando las becas, entonces tienen que dar clic al logo y en automático les va a descargar un PDF con todas las bases y qué es lo que tienen que hacer para aplicar al concurso de Benetton y a las otras becas.
Perfecto. Ok, pues creo que tenemos ya todo. Yo me despido, les dejo aquí y muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
lovely day.
You too.
Bye. Chao, chao. Chao.